everybody, and welcome back to the channel. And do I have a treat for you today? Part 4 in the series, Are They Really Made in the United States? This one, I'm pretty sure it is. But by looking at this thing, I don't know, man. Sit back and enjoy this one, my friends. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. And leave some comments. I want to know what you think. It says so right here on the side, handcrafted in the US of A, if you can even see that. So anyways, we've got the Planet Audio VX602. Let's check this thing out. Let's see what makes it tick. Let's open it up. Let's dyno it. Let's laugh. Let's cry. I don't know, but let's go see what this thing's all about. All right, so I went to the computer and I said, hey, you know what? Let's find out what the hell Planet Audio is all about. So apparently Planet Audio is the high-end version of Boss Audio. They're owned by the same parent company, which is Ava Industries or something like that. So anyway, so apparently in the early 2000s, this stuff was contracted by Zed Audio. If you didn't know, Zed Audio was the American build house for lots of different brands during the 80s and 90s, many of which you've all seen before, and meant their demise shortly after this amp was built. To be designed and manufactured, and I'm looking at this thing, I can't believe this is a Zed Audio amp. So anyways, I looked up the user manual for this thing, and this particular amp is 35 watts by 2, 60 watts by 2 at 2 ohms, and 120 watts by 1 at 4 ohms bridged, okay? And if we go here, this amp, as you can see here, oh yeah, we can tri-mode this thing. We can run it. Where's the tri-mode? Two channel, tri-mode wiring. So anyways, tri-mode wiring. We can wire this thing tri-mode. We can get subwoofer, some satellites. We can run this thing with our funky setup. So let's go ahead. Well, let's fire this thing up, see what it does. We got this thing on the bench. I've never fired it up, so your guess is as good as mine. I'm thinking this thing's gonna light up or it's gonna go and smoke. So let's see what she'll do. Woo! All right, well, look at that. That's pretty. So anyways, all right. Looks like she makes noise. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you can't pick this night up. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me high and dry. Oh, I don't wanna jinx it, baby.
Please tell me all the bad, never good. Fill my head full of every single doubt. Please say any negative thoughts. I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the top, proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spinning out, calling what I'm out. Can't put me down, I'll be getting out. You can never doubt, not what I'm about. Have you f***ing loud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round. Jump like a round, can't stop me now.
All right, we got this thing mounted up, and the dyno, we're looking at rated 35 watts a channel, 4 ohms, both channels are driven. Let's see what this bad boy is gonna do. See if it'll light the world on fire. Maybe the bench on fire. Well, it looks like we got a peak of 32 watts. All right, let's see if it can maybe hit it dynamically. Let's give this thing a shot, see what she'll do. Looks like we got 37 watts. That's better. All right, so we got this thing strapped down, 2 ohms, stereo. Both channels are driven. 14.4 volts, rated 60 watts. See what this dog will do. Looks like we got 51 watts. All right, let's go ahead and run this thing at 2 ohms, dynamic. See what she'll do. Looks like we got 56 watts, 58 watts. Almost made it. All right, and the test that you guys all signed up, got in line, waited in line to see. You know, we want to see what the hell this thing's gonna do. 4 ohms, bridged. I'm thinking it's rated at 120 watts. I'm gonna think it might get close. Let's see. Looks like we got 95 watts. Woo, smoking. Imagine running that to your subwoofers. All right, let's reset it. Let's see what this thing makes dynamically. Okay, 40 hertz, 4 ohms bridged. Not much more. We got 103 watts, 14.4 volts. Oh boy. Now what you guys want? You want to see what's inside this bad boy, what makes it tick. Well, let's take a look. Let's see if it really is Z audio inside. All right, I know I didn't really go over what this thing looks like, but it's got some screw down terminals, which I'm kind of surprised to see. I think this was more of the beginning time of these kind of terminals. They actually are okay. They're really not too bad. They do have an Allen head top on them. I mean, it's a pretty basic amp. We do have a high pass and a low pass, but it is not variable in any way. So, you know, but this thing, it weighs, it doesn't, well, I'm gonna say it's appropriate weight for for its size, which, by the way, we're looking at 11 inches by 6 inches. And you know, the crazy thing is it's got these cheap ass plastic feet. To mount it, you screw through here, and it's got these cheap plastic feet. But let's open this thing up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's nothing in here. Holy cow. Woo-wee. That is nuts. You want to see what kind of parts this thing's got inside of it? Let's check it out. Oh my gosh. I think to pull this whole board out, it's got a couple of little tabs and this thing falls right out. All right, so we got this thing tore open here. And I don't see anywhere on it that says Z audio. So I've got some other amps of a similar era that they were marked with Z audio. If you look at these two, I'm not going to say what this one is. This is a work in progress. You can tell sizing wise they're pretty similar. This one's a little more robust than this one. Obviously this is about as minimal as you can get, but anyways, here are the output transistors. These are the power supply transistors, an FMG 22S. Looks like we got 1000 microfarad 35 volt right by the power coming in. The input filter caps. Then you have output filter caps, which there's caps all over the place. But anyways, this thing's nothing. This thing's nothing. So I don't know, probably not one of the finest days for Z Audio, which is I'm not familiar with this color board in the Z Audio. A lot of the times this color blue was pretty common. So who knows? The end days of Z Audio in around 2004, and according to Stephen Mance, nobody took Z Audio designs and had them made elsewhere. So what do you guys think? I'm pretty sure that this thing's made in America. I don't have any doubts. I don't think this is something that Z Audio would be, proud of, go down in the history books for. I think it's interesting that Planet Audio is the Boss Audio's high end stuff, and I do know this is the smallest in this line of amps that they had. Obviously, I don't think they made anything less than 35 watts a channel. So again, handcrafted in the United States. So I'm gonna say yeah. I think Z Audio would make you an amp that was pretty mediocre. I think it was all depending on how much you wanted to spend, right? So this is number 4 in the series, and got kind of an update. One of the amps, the Precision Audio, got a couple of comments on that one. Okay, that it may have had inadvertently somehow the wrong FETs in the power supply, like they've maybe been changed. So I'm gonna take a look into that. Maybe we'll re-dyno that thing, because it did some weird stuff on the dyno. Dynamically it seemed to play fine, but on the dyno it did horribly bad. So we got one more in the series. We got this guy here, the Boss Audio, and this one is handcrafted in the USA by Z Audio. So that's all I'm going to tell you. This one's brand new, brand spanking new in the box. Okay? So we're going to give this thing a whirl, give it the same test, unboxing, and the whole bit. So I'm really excited. We left this one for the final. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that cool stuff. And hey, share these videos, So I'd appreciate it. Get some new viewers and get those numbers up a little bit higher. So anyways, we'll catch you next time.